All right, this is the Algebra 1, Unit 6, Lesson 4 video. We're continuing on with solving systems of linear equations, and we are doing a new method in Lesson 5 and 6, which is what we call elimination. So to do elimination, you are basically looking for any part of the equation that can be added together and removed, really the x or the y. So I'm actually going to do this example that they give us here, 2x plus y equals 7. I'm going to talk us through the solution. 2x plus y equals 7, and x minus y equals 5. So what you have to notice and what you're looking for with an elimination type solution is anywhere where either the x's or the y's are opposite of each other. And it's pretty clear that you have opposites of y. You have plus 1y and minus 1y. And so if I add these equations together, those will cancel out. This will give me 3x, and this will give me 12. And so it becomes pretty clear right away why this is a useful tool, because now I can actually solve this equation for x. I can divide both sides by 3, and I get x equals 4. So that's the first part of my solution, 4, and then we're looking for the other half as well. So once I'm done with that, once I'm done with step 1, which is to combine, then I solve for the variable, and then all I have to do is take that and put it back in to the original equation. So then all I have to do is take that original equation, 2x plus y equals 7, and plug in this for the x. So I end up with, I'm going to erase that. I'm going to plug in the x. It's going to be 2 times 4 plus y equals 7. 8 plus y equals 7. Subtract 8 from both sides. It gives me y equals 7 minus 8 is negative 1. And so that is the other part of my solution. So a lot of that end part is very similar to what we did in the previous lesson. So really the big concept here is recognizing when we have a situation where we can actually do this canceling that we did here. And it's when you have the opposites. Now we can also do things to make it look that way, and we'll get to that eventually. So let's look at another example. Excuse me. Let's say I have x plus y equals 2 and x minus y equals 14. Very similar situation to what we had previously. You should see right away that we have a plus y minus y situation right there. And so those are going to cancel each other out when I go to add them. So it's going to be 2x equals 16. X plus x is 1x plus 1x is 2x. 2 plus 14 is 16. Then I just go about solving it from there. X equals 8. Again, now I'm ready to go back into the original problem. I'm going to first write down the first part of my answer, which x is equal to 8. And I take that and I plug it in, and I'll use x plus y equals 2, and I'll plug 8 in for x. So 8 plus y equals 2. Subtract 8 from both sides. That goes away, leaving me with y equals negative 6. So you can see when they're set up for you, it's pretty simple. Now there are situations where these are not going to be set up for you. So let's look at one of those. Let's say I have the following. 2x plus 3y equals 20, and y equals 2x plus 4. So the way this one is not working for us is that this x here in the second equation needs to be over here somewhere so that it can be lined up with our other x's. So let's do that. So in order to do that, we're just going to work with equation number 2, and we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. And we're going to end up with a new equation. It's going to be negative 2x plus y equals 4. That's going to cancel, leaving me with 4, negative 2x plus y. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring down the original other equation, 2x plus 3y equals 20. So now we're ready to go because we see that we have negative 2x plus 2x, positive 2x, and those are going to cancel each other out. So when I go to add this together, I'm going to get 4y equals 24. I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides, leaving me with y equals 6. So my solution is 6 and, wait for other value here. We're going to take that 6, we're going to plug it back into one of our original equations. Doesn't really matter. This time it's y though. So we'll do it to the second one. 2x plus 3y, which is now 6. So this is coming from right here, equals 20. 2x plus 18 equals 20. Minus 8, sorry, I had to use a different color here. Minus 18 from both sides gives me 2x equals 2. Divide by 2, x equals 1. And that is the other part of my solution. So the flow of the problem is the same. Once you get it changed, you then combine the equations, solve for the variable that's left, then plug that variable back in to the original equation, and then solve for the remaining variable. So I'm going to type those steps up for you, and I'll put them in another part of the notes page. But let's look at one more problem where we have, or let's look at a couple more where we have a situation that's not already ready to go. So say I have 3x minus 4y equals negative 5, and 10x minus 4y equals negative 12. All right, great example. In this, I can see that I have 4y and 4y. They're both negative though. I want this second one to be positive. So in order to do that, I'm going to apply a negative 1 to this entire equation. When I do that, it's going to change to the following. Negative 10x plus 4y equals positive 12. So I'm taking equation number 2 and I'm just making it, I'm switching the signs of the entire equation. I'm going to rewrite equation number 1, 3x minus 4y equals negative 5. And then we're going to go ahead and get rid of my 4y's, leaving me with negative 10 plus 3 is negative 7x equals 7. 12 minus 5 is 7. That looks pretty good to me. So we'll divide by negative 7 on both sides. So then x equals, those cancel, x equals negative 1. That's the first part of my answer right there. And then I take that x equals negative 1, I go back up, and I try to find an equation that I can use. I use either one of the original equations. We can use, let's go ahead and use 3x minus 4y equals negative 5. 3x minus 4y equals negative 5. I'm going to plug in negative 1 for x because that's the solution that I got. Minus 4y equals negative 5. That's negative 3 minus 4y equals negative 5. I'm just doing basic algebra here. Add 3, add 3. That goes away. Negative 4y equals negative 2 divided by, go ahead and do a different color here for it, minus divided by negative 4. Those go away. And y equals, that's going to cancel, leaving me with 1/2. If you're not sure about that, do negative 2 divided by negative 4 in the calculator, and you should get 1/2, which is the other half of my solution, as it were. So Again, another example. I'm just going to do one more, and then hopefully that'll be enough to get you through the lesson. Here's another one. Negative 5x plus 13y equals negative 7. Oops, don't need to do new color. It's fine. Negative 5x minus 4y equals negative 24. Similar concept, the negative 5s need to be changed. So let's go ahead and go through and let's change everything to positive. Positive 5x, positive 4y, positive 24. I'm just changing everything, so we're going to get rid of that guy. We're going to leave those as pluses. Now I can combine these equations. That's going to go away, leaving me with 17y equals 17. Should be pretty obvious what the solution of that is going to be, because if I divide both sides by 17, I'm going to get y equals 1. Then I take that and I plug it into either one of my original equations. Let's do it into the first one. Doesn't really matter. Actually, let's do the second one. First one's better. Negative 5x plus 13y, and I'm going to put a 1 in there, equals negative 7. Negative 5x plus 13 equals negative 7. Minus 13 on both sides. Negative 5x equals negative 20. Negative 5, x equals 4. You can always type that in your calculator. Negative 20 divided by negative 5 is positive 4. And that is the second half of my equation. And I actually made a mistake. The y value was 1, so that should be the second part of that answer. So the first part of the answer is 4. 4 is the x, the y is 1. So I've tried to do examples like the ones that are in the unit. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6, we are going to we're going to let that one go. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer for number 6 because we're not going to be responsible for those. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. If I subtract this entire equation, a different color, minus, 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 that's going to cancel those. It's going to be 1/3 minus 1/4, which is 1/12 x equals 3. Multiply time both sides times 12. Sorry guys, I'm just getting this for you so you don't have to do this one. X equals 36. So it has to be A or D. If I put 36 in for x in the first equation, I get 12 plus 1/2 y equals 6, which gives me 1/2 y equals negative 6. Times 2 is negative 12. So your answer there is 36 comma negative 12. You're not responsible for the ones that have fractions on these, so don't worry too much about that. Let's hop down. Number 7. So all of the first ones except number 6, you should use the examples I've done to do those. Now, starting at number 8, you have to create an equation yourself. And so I'm going to kind of walk us through how we do that. I'm going to get these equations for you, and then you'll have to solve from there. I want you to see how these are done. Let me add a new drawing. So this first problem says 2 times a number minus 4 times a number is 10. So I want you to see this is one equation right here. The second equation is 4 times the first number minus 4 times the second number results in 4. So there's two different things. So let's do each one separately. 2 times a number. 2 times a number. That's not what I want to do. Here we go. 2 times a number, 2 times x, minus 4 times another number, 4 times another number, is 10, is 10. So you see how I translated that. Then it says 4 times the first number, 4 times the first number, minus 4 times the second number, 4y again, is 4, results in 4. So then you're ready to solve. I'll give you a hint. The first thing you need to do is multiply the second equation times a negative 1, and then you'll be able to solve from there. So there is your equation for number 8. Number 9. The difference between the length and width of a rectangle is 6. So the difference between the length and width of a rectangle is 6. I just made that because length minus width. Difference in math means subtract. So the difference between the length and the width of the rectangle is 6. Their sum is 34. Sum is a word for addition. Length plus width equals 24. Now you're going to solve. I know it's not x and y, but the same process applies. In fact, this one is ready to go. You can already see you're going to be able to eliminate the w in that right there. All right. More of the same in number 10. Heather's family has 2 adults and 3 kids. The tickets to the musical cost them $72.85. Carl's family, on the other hand, paid $94.75 for 2 adults and 5 kids. We have 2 different situations. We have 2 adults in the first family and 3 kids. 2 adults, and it says adult tickets are X. 2 adults and 3 kids. And their total is $72.85. And this is exactly how you do this problem. You set up this equation, then you look at the next one. On the other hand, Carl paid for 2 adults and 5 kids, and their total was $94.75. What is the cost of an adult's ticket? How much higher was the cost of an adult's ticket compared to a kid's ticket? So we need to solve for X and for Y. So I'm going to tell you right now, get you started on this. You need to multiply this equation times -1 so that you can cancel out the 2's. Then you'll solve for Y and go through the process just like you did. Don't let the decimals intimidate you. Same exact process that we've been doing, but there is your equations for number 10 just to give you a start on that. That is the end of our lesson 4 video.